On this episode, an island wildlife adventure that'll have you planning your next trip.
Mate, awesome. Absolutely amazing. They say the dragons are the stuff of fairy tales. Well, we're about to prove them wrong.
And a happy snapper's guide to a holiday to remember.
Oh, work it, baby. Own it.
When the weather's fine, Kangaroo Island, with its pristine beaches, abundant wildlife, and ever-changing landscape, is a stunning holiday spot. And even when it's not fine, it's still worth the 30-minute flight from Adelaide to Kingscote. Kangaroo Island would have to be one of the most beautiful places in Australia to visit, but I'm here for a very special reason.
Nothing excites me more than a search for a rare or unusual animal, and here on Kangaroo Island, I may have bitten off more than I can chew, because not only does this creature live underwater, it's also a dragon.
And there's a bloke at KI Dive and Adventure here in Kingscote who I hear can help me find it. The leafy sea dragon.
Can you lead me to the dragon's lair?
I'm sure we can find something for you.
Do you know where they hang out?
We do. They like to camouflage themselves into the surroundings, so they are hard to find, but we know where they generally live.
Promise me we'll find them.
We'll do our best.
Guarantee it.
I can almost guarantee.
Almost guarantee is good enough. How do we make this happen?
Well, I can take you out a bit later, but at the moment we're actually going out for a dive to see the seals and sea lions, if you'd like to come along to that.
You're stalling, but I like your style. Let's do it.
All right.
It's not what I came here for. And the weather's, well, a bit disappointing. But swimming with seals at Pissy Boy Rock, north of Kingscote, is a real bonus.
Now, Brendan, you're delaying my dream, and you brought me here, and it kind of looks a bit ominous. Where are we?
This is a site called Pissy Boy Rocks.
Why is it called Pissy Boy Rocks?
When we get a bit of rough weather, the swell comes in, hits the rocks, water gets forced up through the hole, and it kind of comes out in a little spout.
Like a little boy?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And what do little boys and girls do around here?
They look for seals.
One question. Everywhere I've been around the world, when you have seals, you have sharks. Do we have sharks?
No.
Reassuring words. So what sort of seals are we going to see here?
The Australian sea lion, but it's most likely to be the New Zealand fur seal.
Personality-wise, who plays more?
They're very similar. I guess the New Zealand fur seal will be a little bit more friendly. So they come and say hi, and you just got to keep them entertained.
So it's my job to entertain them?
Absolutely.
I thought it was the other way around.
No.
So you've got to give them the right body language, and if you play along, they'll play back.
Yeah, they copy you. If you lean to the side, they'll lean to the side, that sort of thing.
They like fun?
They do, yeah.
I like fun.
Good.
Let's have some fun.
It's not long before curiosity gets the better of a couple of Aussie locals. Now, these cute critters love to play, but they'll only stick around if I play too. So, here goes. It's hard to believe these seals can get up to 300 kilos. These little guys don't look that heavy, but still, playing chicken with them, it can test the nerves. I'm much more comfortable with a civilised game of fetch. Then, with a flipper wave goodbye, playtime is over.
You promised me play. I gave somersaults, I gave everything. I got play back. You were definitely entertaining.
Are you commenting on my gymnastics?
I don't know if I'd call that gymnastics.
I thought it was very graceful. Thank you. I didn't think we'd end up playing fetch. That was amazing.
They're just like puppies.
It seriously was just like that, though. Like, you threw a rock and he'd go looking for it and try to bring it back. So we played fetch with a seal, but I believe now you have to fetch me a sea dragon.
I'll see what I can do.
You promised.
And to do that, it's back to King's Coat and straight to the dragon's lair.
So where to from here?
All right, so we're going to hop on the boat and head out to the end of the jetty out here.
Yeah.
Leafy sea dragon likes to live in the weed right at the end.
He has a lair.
He does, yes.
Is this a good lair out here?
It is good. It's the biggest colony we know of, so there's a good chance we're going to find one today.
Okay, what do I need to be looking for? I don't want to miss him.
Basically, just looks like a piece of seaweed with a horse's sort of head, or a dragon's head, I guess.
So you look like a bit of weed with a horse's head.
Yeah.
Hot.
Exactly.
All right, let's go.
The leafy sea dragon I'm desperate to find is a relative of the seahorse and is so rare it only lives in these southern waters.
Once we get down there, do I expect them to be shy?
You should expect them to be shy. They tend to turn away. It's very hard to get a good view of their face.
Could they be shy because you describe them as a lump of seaweed with a horse's head?
Possibly. It's not the most charming thing to say about them.
This is a dragon you're talking about.
It is.
Need some respect. These guys are amazing, right? Because the males do a bit of daddy daycare. They actually carry the eggs around.
Yeah, it's very much like seahorses in that manner. The females have the eggs until they're fertilised, then they pass them off onto the males who look after them until they hatch.
What, she then just hits the clubs and bar scene. Yeah.
Enjoys life.
Okay, I have a little confession to make about why I'm so keen to see a sea dragon. When I was a kid, I was convinced that seahorses and sea dragons were mythical. They didn't exist. They were only the stuff of fairy tales. I've never actually seen one in the wild. To disprove that theory, today's the day.
After 15 minutes of diving, there's plenty of seaweed and fish, and I'm starting to think my childhood beliefs could be true.
Okay, no luck so far. The real challenge here is the fact we're looking for a leafy sea dragon. He looks like seaweed, in amongst seaweed. So, still mythical.
But it seems the leafy sea dragon gods are smiling upon us. Right about now, I'm feeling pretty psyched. What I find so fascinating about these guys is their unusual breeding patterns. The female lays her eggs on the tail of the male and he incubates them until they hatch 49 days later. That's what I call co-parenting. These delicate creatures became a protected species in the 1990s. to stop divers poaching them and taking them home as exotic pets. And it's easy to see the attraction. You can feel nothing but privilege to have seen it in its natural home.
Mate, awesome. Absolutely amazing.
Glad you enjoyed it.
I loved it. Well, we didn't just discover a dragon, almost felt like a dance with it. Truly a fairy tale end to an amazing day. Whew.
But when you come to a treasure trove like Kangaroo Island, you don't just stay for a day. There's so much to see and do, like visiting the raptor domain. Just 15 kilometres from Kings Coat, you get the chance to see birds of prey in flight and get up close with some of Australia's most venomous creatures. Being surrounded by such a wealth of wildlife and breathtaking landscapes on Kangaroo Island presents the perfect opportunity to take on a photo challenge. All those beaches, bays and wildlife. I've really been looking forward to it. Well, that was until I discovered I was up against a professional photographer and some of the wildest weather the Southern Ocean can throw at us.
Okay, so it may not look like it today, but Vivon Bay, right here on Kangaroo Island, was actually voted by the University of Sydney as the best beach in Australia. It beat 10,000 other beaches. Had water clarity, privacy, cleanliness, had it all. Just not today.
On one of the most overcast days of the year, I'll be shooting it out with Pete Dobre. Pete runs photo tours of the island and, unfortunately, knows his stuff. So if I'm any hope of winning this little comp, I need to get on the front foot straight away.
There you go. So this is how it works. 3 shots. 3 shots, anywhere you want to go. But they must be portrait, an arty shot, and a wildlife shot.
Love it, mate.
You love it?
Love it.
Winner takes all.
We've got the perfect conditions for this because this is going to put us to the test.
So I thought, look, while we're here, let's get the portrait done.
Hey, that's not a bad idea.
Can I borrow you?
Oh, me?
I'm just doing a selfie.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Perfect subject, man. Let's get on with it. Come on.
So I've always thought that a portrait should reflect the person, the subject, which is what you are.
Exactly.
Okay. Can I borrow something? This is going to seem a bit strange.
Very
Put your camera down.
Okay.
Okay, you going to work with me?
I'm going to work with you, mate.
Okay, so it's going to seem a little bit strange, but the best portraits are. Put that up to your eye.
Got it.
Okay. Now face me here. I'm trying to bring you into this picture, but not just you, your work as well. Okay, it's good.
Good.
I want to try one more thing.
Okay.
Just look that way.
All right.
But keep really still.
Real still.
Okay?
Got it.
This is going to take a little while to compose this shot and really make it happen.
Okay.
But keep still, it'll work beautifully.
Awesome.
Just count to 30
I'll do it.
and we'll be there. Looking good, Pete.
Okay.
Looking very good.
Now,
Right, looking good,
I'm not
Pete.
proud of what I'm about to do, but, well, you know, when you're dealing with a bloke who shot every inch of the island,
Hey, what about my portrait? Hey, call that working with you? Hey, I want my portrait! Hey, hey! You've drawn the battle lines! Seriously!
on Australia's third largest island, Pete's not going to track me down in a hurry, so I should have plenty of time to get my arty shot. It only took Mother Nature, well, 500 million years of wind, rain and sea action to carve out her own arty shot, and they named it Remarkable Rocks.
But look at it. It's so grey. There's no colour, there's no shadows. There's very little to work with. So We're going to have to be inventive. There are so many potential spots, but what I like about this is the fact there's this dark slash running through the foreground. So hopefully combined with the big, imposing background of those rocks, we might just get something. Let's see how we go.
Not bad, but it's overcast today and my shots look a little flat.
When you're dealing with a lack of colour, take all the colour away, make it black and white, and all of a sudden, you'll just see how much mood it gives the picture.
Meanwhile, Pete's over at Little Sahara, yet another of the island's diverse ecosystems.
I've come to Little Sahara because I want to shoot the dunes. A photographer's dream in shooting the dunes is to have beautiful light, hitting the ripples, accentuating form, shape and colour. Kangaroo Island is a fantastic place. You can get 4 seasons in a day. Now, a shot like this, I would really have loved to have a little bit of light, bit of sunlight to highlight the ripples. So what you've got to do, you have to work with what you've got. For my artistic shot, I'm looking for something that's very strong, emotive, and draws the eyes of the viewer to the subject. Here, I've got some reeds, I've got some nice little ripples going into it, and you're drawn straight to it. For this shot, I use a self-timer, and that way you get no camera shake, sharp, strong image.
Okay, next on the list, wildlife. With wildlife comes pressure because I'm meant to know animals inside and out.
If you want wildlife, this is your place. I mean, obviously there's kangaroos, echidnas, koalas, goannas, you name it, it seems to be here. But the draw card of Seal Bay, seals. Almost feels like you're interrupting something.
Seal Bay is the only place in Australia where you can get up close and personal with sea lions and seals.
Excuse me, how you going?
Hello.
Now, you might be able to help me.
Sure.
Can I actually get down there and get closer?
Of course you can.
Yeah?
Yeah. Let's head down.
Beautiful. So what attracts them to this beach here?
We think that these colonies still around because of that reef system there. So early sealing days, they couldn't get their boats in, so this colony was protected.
They look exhausted.
They are exhausted. The adults have been out for potentially 3 days, diving for their food the whole time. So when they get back here to their home, they're physically exhausted. Yeah.
It's like a feeding hangover.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, so it's their bedroom and their bathroom, and it's a breeding area as well. Yeah.
Now, you'll need a guide to do this, but you will be able to get within 10 metres of the seals for great action shots.
This is probably a good time to try to get our shot because it is game on right now. The key, I reckon, with wildlife photography, don't stay high. You've actually got to get down to their level, so drop down. So once you're low, you're actually on their eye line, and that makes for a much more, I guess, intimate shot. Now, while there's a cute pup over here, which is worth a shot, right over here now is Seal Flight Club. And the best wildlife shots are action shots.
No one knows how many kangaroos live on Kangaroo Island, but trust me, there's plenty. And Pete's headed for the Kelly Hill Conservation Park for his next shot.
Wildlife photography is the most difficult discipline of all of them. The key, you wait. By waiting, you learn the behaviour of the animal, you predict what it's going to do, and then you get your shot.
To achieve a similar result on your point and shoot camera, use the sports shooting mode. Pete may have pipped me with that one, but he hasn't got his portrait shot just yet. And while I'm strolling along Hanson Bay, I'm thinking, you know what? This one could be in the bag.
I knew Chris couldn't resist Hanson Bay. I've got him exactly where I want him. It's coming straight towards me. How good is this?
Come on, Chris, a little bit closer. That's it, mate. Come on.
A really good tip when you want to take a great portrait is look for the element of surprise. And the other great thing is we have even lighting, which means no harsh shadows in the eyes and face. Perfect.
And if you don't own a fancy SLR, use the continuous shooting mode on your point-and-shoot camera.
Thanks, Chris. Perfect, mate.
Kangaroo Island paparazzi. Nice. Wow. Like the weather, you just turned bad, didn't you? You crossed the line.
You have brought the weather. You're like this little tornado above you wherever you go.
Come on, let's see. What did you get?
Look at my portrait shot of you. Element of surprise. That's awesome.
All right. But that's creative.
I don't want to see it. It's too good. Right, my arty-farty shot.
You ain't arty.
What you got to show me?
You guys arty's that?
That's very good. I like it, but wildlife. Look at that. Can you beat that?
It's pretty good.
Okay, let's see what you got.
I got a shot that looks a lot like us. Two men bickering, fighting to the death.
Actually, what I like about that with these seals, you've got them doing something. Action, that's a good tip. Well done.
You know what? We're not going to be able to settle this, are we?
No, we're not.
And I'm more than happy to call it a draw.